Today I will be going over targets 8 and 9 homework. I will start with target 8 on the homework. Remember that was the back side of your notes. So target 8, we're doing synthetic substitution. So we're always looking for that remainder to be our answer. The first thing we always need to do is make sure that our polynomial is in standard form. Also, if it is in standard form, we need to make sure that it isn't missing anything in there. So I have a cubed, a squared, a, and my constant, so I'm not missing anything. So I'm going to pull off my coefficients. So I have 1, -9, 24, and -7. Remember, they tell us the x value on here, so 3 goes on the outside. First thing I do is drop my first number, so I drop 1. And then I do 1 times my number on the outside, so 1 times 3 is 3. -9 plus 3 is -6. -6 then, again, times that outside number always. -6 times 3 is -18. 24 minus 18 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. -7 plus 18 is a positive 11. So I know f of 3 equals 11. Remember, it will always equal what your remainder is. Looking on 2, again, I'm in standard form, a to the cube, a squared, and a. I'm not missing any terms. So I'll bring down my coefficients. I have 1, -8, 20, -11. They tell me my x value is 4, so I put 4 on the outside. Always drop that first number, so I drop the 1, multiply it on the outside. 1 times 4 is 4. -8 plus 4 is -4. -4 times 4 is a -16. 20 minus 16 is 4. 4 times a positive 4 is 16. -11 plus 16 is 5. Your remainder is your answer, so f of 4 equals 5. Number 3 is just a little bit longer, still in standard form. We're not missing anything, so I can go ahead and bring down my values. So I have -3, -9, 25, -26, -9. On the outside, they tell me what my x value is. They tell me it's -5, so we'll have -5 on the outside. As always, we're going to drop that first number, so I drop -3. -3 times -5 is 15. -9 plus 15 is 6. 6 times -5 is -30. 25 minus 30 is -5. -5 times -5 is 25. -26 plus 25 is -1. -1 times -5 is a positive 5. -9 plus 5 is a -4. So my answer, f of -5, equals -4. Last but not least, on this front side, number 4. Number 4, we do need to be careful on. You're going to notice that there's no m squared, so we'll have to fill that in with a 0. So I have my coefficients 3, 0, -9, -5. My x value, or in this case my m value, is -2, so we put that on the outside. Drop our 3. 3 times -2 is -6. 0 minus 6 is -6. -6 times -2 is positive 12. -9 plus 12 is 3. 3 times -2 is a -6. -5 minus 6 is -11. My remainder is -11, so f of -2 equals -11. On the back side here, we have target 9, so we are dividing rather than substituting. Remember, that means we're going to follow the same process, just my answer is going to be a little bit different. So in this first one, I have v squared minus 6v minus 10 divided by v minus 6. Remember, we could write that the same way that it was on the notes. It doesn't matter what way it's written. Just whatever's on the bottom is what we are dividing by. It's in standard form, so just like I did on the front, I'm going to pull my coefficients down. So 1, -6, -10. This time they didn't tell me what v equals, so remember we take what we're dividing by, set it equal to 0, so v equals 6. So 6 will go on the outside. I still drop my 1. We use the same process. 1 times 6 is 6. -6 plus 6 is 0. 0 times 6 is 0. -10 plus 0 is -10. So it asked me if this is a divisor. Remember, it's a divisor if our remainder is 0. Here, my remainder is -10. So the answer is no, it's not a divisor. If it's not a divisor, we're not writing our factored form. We're just writing our answer. Remembering that this is our remainder, our constant, and our x. So I'm going to have 1x. I don't need to put plus 0, so I can ignore that. But I'm going to have plus my remainder over what I divided by. So -10 over v minus 6. Okay. Number 6. First thing, bring down those coefficients. It's in standard form. We're not missing anything. So I have 9, -54, and a +50. Set r minus 5 equal to 0, and I get r equals 5. So 5 goes on the outside. Drop your 9. 9 times 5 is 45. -54 plus 45 is 9. -9 times 5 is -45. 50 minus 45 is 5. Again, it is not a factor, so we need to write our answer. So I have my constant, sorry, I have my remainder. I have my constant, and I have my x. So my answer is going to be 9x minus 9 plus 5 over r minus 5. Sorry, this should be a 9r, so you can write it as 9r or you can write it as x. Just make sure you are consistent on what variable you use. So over here, I just noticed I did the same thing. I'm going to make that into a v. Okay, number 7. Again, we are in standard form, so we're good there. So the first thing I want to do is bring my coefficients down. I'm not missing anything, so I don't need to fill in with any zeros. Set k plus 9 equal to 0, so k equals -9. Drop my 10 down. 10 times -9 is -90. 92 minus 90 is 2. 2 times -9 is -18. 11 minus 18 is -7. Again, not a divisor because that remainder is not 0. So we write our answer, our remainder, our constant, and our k. So I have 10k plus 2 plus -7 over what we divided by, so k plus 9. 8, bring your coefficients down. So I have 9, -72, and 9. Set n minus 8 equal to 0, so n equals 8. 8 goes on the outside. Drop down the 9. 9 times 8 is 72. -72 plus 72 is 0. 0 times 8 is 0. 9 plus 0 is 9. Again, not a divisor. I have my remainder, I have my constant, and I have my n. So on this one, my answer is going to be 9n plus 9 over n minus 8. Number 9, again, it is in standard form. We aren't missing anything, so we're going to have 2, 7, and -49. Set n plus 7 equal to 0, and n equals -7. Negative 7 goes on the outside. Drop down your 2. 2 times negative 7 is negative 14. 7 minus 14 is a negative 7. Negative 7 times negative 7 is a positive 49. Negative 49 plus 49 is 0. We have 0, so we know the divisor is a factor, so we can write it in our factored form. This is my remainder, my constant, and my x, so that tells me I have 2x minus 7. So in factored form, I have 2x minus 7. And then remember, we always use what we are dividing by. I'm going to stay consistent with my x's, so x plus 7. That's going to be our factored form. One more. So on number 10, I have 641 and negative 7. Don't forget to look if you are missing something in there. Set n plus 7 equal to 0. So n equals negative 7. Negative 7 goes on my outside. Drop down 6. 6 times negative 7 is negative 42. 41 minus 42 is negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 7 is a positive 7, so we end up getting 0 again. So it is a factor. My remainder, my constant, and x. So I know this gives me 6x minus 1. So my factored form is going to be 6x minus 1 times what we divided by. Again, I'm going to be consistent and continue to use x plus 7. Please come in if you have any questions or go back and reference the notes.